Hey everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Punch-Out Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brendan Riley, and as with me always, every week, is Stefan Dawkins.
Dawkins?
Like, you're gonna
Dawkins.
I know, it is. I know, I do it purposely every time.
A lot of people do it purposely every time. Anyway, guys.
I do, because I know it. It annoys
we
me.
are here for you guys. But unfortunately, there is going to be something that you're going to notice as we go through the show. This is going to be a very special episode because for the first time in a long time, the first time ever on the history of the Punch-Out, we don't have shit to talk about, actually.
We really don't.
There's nothing really happening in the world of our nerdy news things other than like rumors and stuff. But who wants to talk about rumors?
As we said last week, we don't comment on rumors and speculation.
I mean, we sort of did on one thing. Yeah, sorry, I was reaching for my inhaler because I'm dying and I'm a fucking idiot.
Yo, that was mad sexy, dog.
Ew. Anyway, so instead what we're going to do is I think today we're going to have a discussion. We're just going to talk to each other and have a nice little conversation. How does that sound to you?
That sounds good, dog.
Okay. So I just have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in your thoughts because I think you have some very good insight on this.
I'm happy to be here, dog.
You're the comic book fan.
Yeah, dog.
You read comic books. You've been reading comic books all your life. If you had a kid, you name her Harley. But
no, actually, if I had a girl, I would name her Parker. But that's for another story.
Not Mayday. So, my question to you is, it's going to be about the Captain America twist.
Yes.
About Hydra. If for those of you who aren't familiar or haven't listened to the previous podcast or been living under a rock or masturbating like I have, it's been recently revealed in the new Captain America issue #1.
All new, all different.
All new, all very different. That Captain America is secretly an agent of
Hydra.
So there's this panel that's been posted everywhere of him saying "Hail Hydra."
And a very fucking overused meme.
Yeah, but the meme's kind of funny. But anyway, here's my question to you. Do you think that I'm gonna phrase it this way? I'm gonna frame it this way, I should say. Do you think that people are already used to most of the twists that happen in comic books, with the good guy bad guy struggle? Do you think that having this Captain America twist, the Captain America twist, being that he's a part of Hydra this whole time, do you think that something that outrageous is something that is needed in the comic book world, or needed in the Marvel continuity at least? Or because I personally, a very small percentage of me really feels like this is a way to depart from the whole, like, let's just make everything super PC and let's just make everything rebooted and change everything up and redo the whole universe and timeline. Whereas now it's like, okay, maybe we can start a story where it's like, holy shit, there's some totally out of left field storyline plot development that we could work on. What do you think? Okay. Especially in the midst of like Rebirth and all that shit.
Get ready to put some tea on put some fucking water to boil, because this is gonna be long.
If you got some free time.
So let's just get it out of the way and just say that I personally don't have any strong feelings either way, because it is just one issue of a series that we have no idea where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
And Nick Spencer and Tom Brevoort and everybody else in the Marvel editorials come out and said, and this is Steve Rogers, this isn't no fucking screwing around. Just in the same vein, like it was Peter Parker who got taken over by Doc Ock, this is the actual one. There's no like, he's hidden in the fandom zone somewhere. Or Dimension Z, or he's in a cosmic cube somewhere.
Or what if, because remember when they started the Marvel Now Captain America?
They've rebooted that, like, so many million times. Dimension Z.
Yeah.
It was Dimension Z. So, honestly, it is a nice fresh take on Captain America. I laugh because the internet and this is my problem with it, like with just everything in general. When it comes to something being revealed or something like an image or a trailer or whatever, because this can be used for Ghostbusters, Lady Ghostbusters, this can be used for whatever. It's that the internet overreacts so fast without going, oh shit, let me stop and think and process what's gonna happen with this. Like, what's the...
Really disturbing.
But let me just go with, where is the story gonna go in a couple months? It was the same thing with, like, a Superior Spider-Man. Like, everybody after the first issue was like, fuck this, I don't fucking care. Like, at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 700. And I started working for Manhattan the week Superior #1 came out. Mm-hmm. So everybody's still pissed about Spider-Man 700. Like, fuck this, I'm never reading Marvel Comics again. This is fucking publicity stunt, blah, 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 whatever. About 2 months into the readership, because they were coming out 2 times a month, everybody had changed their tune. Where Octavius was beating the shit out of villains. He was making time for his family. He was making time for his relationships. And he was being a dick, but he still was doing everything that Peter couldn't do. Mm-hmm. In fact, being the superior Spider-Man. That's why I kind of like shut my ass a little bit at the end of that. Guess. At the end of that storyline where he was like, "Oh, Peter, you truly are the superior Spider-Man." I was like, "No, he's not. He's still gonna have all the fucking same struggles that you pointed out.
He had before."
So I'm just like, "There's no way." It's like you managed to be a better Peter Parker than Peter Parker was, which is sad. Anyway. Let's just see where this shit goes after a couple months. There's so many, and even if this is like, he's gonna be a secret spy of Hydra, like, where does this go? Like, what new stories does this give us? What happens when people start finding out? One after another. And what people don't like talking about is a couple months ago, fucking, they mind wiped Steve Rogers. Like, yeah. The evil Illuminati and Doctor Strange did that. They did a Batman on him. So if you read the issue, it all starts off with Cap's mom is being abused by her husband, Steve Rogers' dad, and he's beating the shit out of her in the street. Where this lady comes, saves her. It's like, oh, come hang out, have dinner with us, this and that. So as they're talking, she's like, that kid, he has a lot of heart. I can see it in him now. Like, you just know when people are destined for greatness or whatever. So she pays for the meals and everything, and they're going back. She's like, I really know that you want to change the neighborhood for young Steve and this and that and blah, blah, blah. She's like, I might not be able to convince you to or tell you how to do it, but maybe this will help. And she gives her the Hydra flyer. And that's it. That's all that's said about it. So Steve finds Zemo. They're going to fight Baron Zemo in this jet. And this kid, that's what I think. It's not Union Jack, but it's like Spitfire or some shit. So they're fighting on the jet. He's like, oh, I'm going to go help Cap. This is my moment to go help Cap. And I love the inner monologues. Cap's all like, oh, he's like, this poor young, like, stupid idiot. He's like, you're trying to do good, but you don't know what you've gotten yourself into. And Cap just fucking throws him out of the Quinjet. I was like, and it was so good. So let's look past that. Nick Spencer, who's the writer on there, he's a very liberal kind of guy. You can tell by the way he's portraying Red Skull in the series, which I think is the little kind of like something that's not being brought to attention, where Red Skull's now using the same kind of propaganda that Donald Trump spits out. Yeah. And it makes a lot of sense. It's like, holy shit, this is the same exact thing Donald Trump's doing, and the same way he's kind of getting voters. So it's like the same exact thing. And I feel like that's more like you're kind of bringing real life shit into my comics. I don't want that. Like, it's just like...
Well, I mean, in a subtle way, when it's done kind of subtly, without like a heavy-handed message.
No, this isn't subtle. This is like full-blown. Like, he fucking watched like a Donald Trump rally and was like copy paste.
Well, I mean, like
I should know.
I mean, that's a little. I still think it's a little better because they've done that before in comics before.
No, here's why. Here's where I would say that because I know this, but the fact where he's bringing up the refugees. He's bringing up all real fucking issues, and I'm like,
all right.
And the way that Donald Trump like says, he's like, what happened to this country? We were great, like he was like, I went back to my homeland Europe, and now they're like the bitch of NATO. That's what he said, and I was like, whoa, and I was like, man, the Red Skull is putting out, but that's what he's doing. He's using this fear mongering to be like, and I don't want to get political because me, I could care less about that. But again, it's like, oh, shut up. Now, the other thing I want to mention is that a lot of people, Kevin Smith's known for a lot of things, but he says one really great thing about why he didn't want to write a Superman movie at first. Uh-huh. Because he's like, what story can you tell of Superman that hasn't been told already? Same thing with Spider-Man, same thing with Captain America. It's like, how many times can he punch the Red Skull in the face, punch the Baron Zemo in the face? It's like I alluded to a little bit earlier, is you get new stories.
Yeah.
We get to see what comes of this. You know, what happens when it's like, all these heroes are like, all right, so how are we going to stop this person? Cap would know. Oh, wait, fuck. Cap's Hydra. What? Wait, what? And then the shit all hits the fan. That's going to be amazing. But also, all the people that bitch about Superman being an ultimate Boy Scout, like, and they're always asking, man, imagine what happens if Superman went bad. You know, this is the same people that are bitching about this, and it's just like, shut up. And I'm tired, and I am like the fucking sentence of like, this comic ruined my childhood, this movie ruined my childhood, this cartoon raped my childhood. Like, shut up. That is the most overused stupid phrase that the internet likes to use, and I'm tired of it.
Well, that's what we've become. We've become a culture of pre-programmed phrases and words that we just use over and over and over again without knowing the actual meaning behind it and understanding how it, whether or not it applies to what we're trying to say or not. We just say it because that's the flavor text of that we use.
You know what ruins my childhood? When people talk about like their childhood being ruined. Like, think about it. You're letting this new property or this new angle or this new storyline ruin what got you into comics. Like, I'll never forget the day that I fucking opened up a SpiderMan issue and I was like, this is the best thing ever. The first time I watched an episode of G.I. Joe, the first time I went to a fucking Kmart and, not Kmart, Toys R Us, and my mom bought me an Undertaker action figure. Like, I'm always still going to have that memory. It's never going to be ruined. You know, like, you can watch Ghostbusters 5 million times, the first one I'm talking about. And you see this new lady Ghostbusters, you're like, oh, it's fucking ruining my childhood. You know what's never going to be ruined for me? The fucking time I watched a fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, like, just at a screening at Ghostbusters. And he was just chilling there, not moving. I'm pretty sure he died. No, I'm joking.
He was just this dead guy in a happy suit. No, yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, that's something... For me personally, I'm actually really excited about the twist. Yeah. I wasn't at first. At first, I was like, oh, that's weird. And then after a while, I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know, to be honest, I'd rather Captain America running around going, Hail Hydra, than freaking them going, oh, well, we decided that Iron Man's going to create a bomb that warps time and inverts it and starts it all the way back from the beginning because we need to reboot shit again. It's like, guys, no, please stop. Like, Rebirth.
And it's comics. Like, we know comics are going to fucking, like, they're going to revert back to things.
They're going to revert back to tropes. Like, this is what's been done for years. You know, this is what happens. I mean, think about it this way, man. Or I like to think about it this way. Without any major pushes and without any major, like, twists and turns, why keep reading? What would be the point?
Here's the other point that I like to make, and this is just me, grumpy comic book shop employee, former comic book shop employee. Like, I know these things, and the people that are bitching about this, a lot of people that are bitching about this, aren't people that go and buy books on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
And I hate to use that excuse because I hate that excuse when somebody's like, you didn't enjoy Batman vs Superman because you were not a comic book reader. In this instance, I'm going to use that example because it's in fact the material that you have to buy to read. But it's like you're going off a story that you'll see posted on Twitter or on Reddit or on wherever you go get your news from. Yeah. And it's like, all right, granted, like for me, I stopped buying comics on a weekly basis because money issues and other things. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
So, and it's like, I bought this issue and it's like, yeah, no, I'm going to go back and buy issue 2. It's like, I probably want to go check that out and to see where this is going. I don't want it to be like 12 issues in and then they just stop. They're like, oh no, never mind that. We never said that. Look at the Winter Soldier thing. When they introduced Winter Soldier, everybody's like, oh, this is fucking great writing. And then when they were like, it's Bucky, people were super pissed. Like, they were like, fuck, how the fuck dare you do that to Bucky? You know, he's Cap's sidekick. It doesn't make any sense. Fast forward, when was that Winter Soldier stuff? That was 2003, 2004. Fast forward 10 years later, he's a fucking prominent character in a Marvel movie. Like, it's just
and everyone
like,
fucking loves him,
and everybody loves him, and it's, you know, and it's, oh, dum dum, and it's like, You know,
we have the Mets game on in the background. And
it doesn't matter. You'd have to, you know.
I want people to know, this is the life of the Uptownstrangers.
Pretty much. And it's frustrating. It is. That's all that it is. It's frustrating where people are trying to tell you how to feel about things. And that's where I feel like that line is getting drawn to with just with culture in general, pop culture in general.
To be honest, it kind of goes onto a broader point of like the clickbait. You know what I mean? Like the clickbait sites and how they sensationalize the trivial, and then people see that and think it's this big issue, and suddenly they formed an opinion based off of what someone else said, and now they want to make a big stink about it. Because you ever notice that usually when there's something done, the biggest thing you hear about it is whatever negatives there are towards it. Because that's when people want to be the most vocal, is when there's something negative to say. And I feel like that's the same case with this. But moving on from Captain America, what do you think about... Let's go on to the other side. What do you think about Rebirth? What do you think about them kind of... Again, fucking with the continuity. This is kind of what DC's known for at this point.
DC needed to do it in terms of a publication side. It was very convoluted where they were going, and I don't think 52 panned out the way they wanted it to.
Yeah, definitely not.
So, and it was just another case of it getting confusing and people not fucking knowing what to do. And then this is also weird that now you're bringing in the Watchman to the spoilers. You're bringing in the Watchmen to the DCU period where it's like, granted, I saw a review. Someone sent me a review that said, people are, all they're going to see about this is the Watchmen. Like, this is what people are taking away from Rebirth. They're like, oh, but it's, you're going to get new fascinating. If you hand me my phone, let me see if I can pull up the thing real quick because it's saved. It's one of my saved photos. Thank you. And it's just like, you can't fucking... Just vamp for a second. Oh
God, quickly, banter.
Here we go. I found the thing. What Jeff Johns has done is the right thing that few writers do. He made it all true. Rather than clear away continuity, DC Universe Rebirth brings back all the discarded continuity and retains the new 52 continuity. There's now more to play with now. Wait, there's more... That's a fucking really bad sentence. There's now more to play with, not less. And DC, as an extended work of metafiction, has gotten even richer. While many will zero in on Dr. Manhattan and the most seismic impact from DC Universe Rebirth, the reality is that this 80-page comic reverses a 30-year company policy that placed a hyper-alternative eye on continuity, and that valued stories about continuity as much as it is valued the stories themselves. Again, that was a run-on. This guy is pretty terrible and he has a job. Now it's all continuity. Oh, fuck me.
Now it's all continuity, and continuity is the key, especially when the continuity
He says continuity like 17 times, but...
The point of your article is...
Here's how I look at it. DC gets a mulligan, right? You're rebooting everything. Everything's rebooted, and they're bringing back the old numbering for Action Comics because it's close to 1,000, which is going to be the first major... weekly comic to be hit 1,000. I think AD is the only one that does it. That's a British comic. It's a serialized thing. It's exciting because we can get new stories again, and we can get kind of like that old DC feel, which kind of got me back into buying DC comics. Like, I like the Jeff Johns stories, the Green Lantern stories, the way that they were doing Batman and Detective. It's all. I thought you were gonna fart again.
I did.
Trying to.
I did.
Anyway, but it's just like, here's what's impressive about what's the biggest impressive thing about what DC's doing with Rebirth?
What?
All the books are $2.99.
Okay.
They're
right, DC.
all $2.99, which I'm like, there you go. I will give DC credit for this. That 80 page
forgives the logo change.
I don't even care about that anymore.
That's a joke.
The 80 page Rebirth.
Yeah.
It's only $2.99.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Fuck. I want it.
And
I was gonna go get it this weekend or this Wednesday. Sorry.
So you have DC and they're trying everything.
This Wednesday, right?
It already came out last week.
Yeah,
I bought it last week. They they said, look, we're gonna atone for some of our mistakes. Granted, they've made a lot of them, but
Yeah.
this whole continuity change. Let's see where it goes from there. You know, they get a blank slate. They can do new Batman stories. They can do new Superman stories. They can do Green Lanterns, Flash, whatever. Like anytime Flash gets rebooted, I don't give a fuck because I'm
One
like,
of the
more
Lanterns
Flash
has a gun now.
Yeah. Jeff Johns set a really high bar for Green Lantern stories. Like where he set them shits all the way up here, like all the way.
I just want to see classic DC.
There's a rumor that Rorschach is running the Suicide Squad, and I was like, I'll see how that goes.
Okay, well,
what are your thoughts on Captain America #1 in Rebirth, DC Universe's Rebirth? Let us know in the comment section below. If you have any other recommendations in terms of what you're reading right now, please let us know. Like, comment, subscribe, and watch all our other videos. Listen to all our other podcasts. For Stefan, this is Brendan. As always, don't forget to punch back in.
You try to play you for a fool, like you see a girl who's unique. It's a treat, cause she's sweet, and she really seems to knock you off your feet. You wanna say hey, but you don't. Your mom says tell her how you feel, but you won't, cause you're just too cool to tell her truly. Get your feelings out.